In the golden light of dawn, the Maasai Mara awakens, a vast, untamed wilderness where legends are born. Here, two lions rose above all others, their names echoing across the plains, Scarface and Notch. Scarface, instantly recognizable by the deep scar slashing across his eye and his thick dark mane, was a solitary king. He roamed the grasslands alone or with his brothers, his presence commanding respect from all who crossed his path. Scarface became the most photographed lion in Africa, a symbol of resilience, survival, and quiet authority. His story is one of endurance, overcoming injuries, rival males, and the harsh realities of the wild. Notch, older and more grizzled, wore his age with pride. His legacy was built not on solitude, but on family. He led a formidable coalition with his 5 powerful sons, a group known as Notch and the Boys. Together they swept across the Mara, their unity making them nearly unstoppable. Notch's reign was defined by strategy, loyalty, and the strength found in numbers. Scarface ruled the Marsh Pride alongside his brothers, fiercely defending their territory and Pride members. Meanwhile, Notch's dynasty expanded eastward, conquering new lands and prides through sheer force of will and the power of family bonds. Their reigns defined an era in the Mara, each lion representing a different path to power. Scarface, the solitary icon who inspired awe, and Notch, the strategic patriarch whose coalition changed the landscape of lion society. Though their territories overlapped and their reputations loomed large, Scarface and Notch never clashed directly. Yet, their influence was felt everywhere, shaping the destinies of prides, rivals, and the very fabric of the Mara itself. These two kings were magnets, pulling and pushing the fates of those around them, their presence altering the balance of power with every move. Their stories are a study in contrast, the solitary might of Scarface versus the collective strength of Notch and his sons. Each path had its own challenges, triumphs, and heartbreaks. This is the tale of their parallel reigns, a subtle rivalry that never erupted into open conflict but forever changed the Mara, leaving behind legends that still inspire awe today. The Maasai Mara is a patchwork of lion territories, each fiercely guarded by coalitions. Prime land means food, water, and the future of the pride. Territory is everything. Coalitions, often brothers or bonded males, patrol, roar, and fight to defend their turf. Scarface and his brothers claimed the Marsh Pride's rich domain, while Notch and his sons dominated the east. Rivers like the Mara and Talek served as shifting boundaries, but these lines were always tested. The Great Migration brought herds, and rival lions, into close quarters, raising tensions. The Mara became a chessboard of power, with Scarface and Notch as its most influential players. Their reigns shaped the lives of every creature in this wild kingdom. Scarface's journey began in the Marsh Pride, where a battle left him with his famous scar. With his brothers, the 4 Musketeers, he seized the marsh territory, becoming a force to be reckoned with. Scarface's charisma and calm dominance made him the face of the coalition and a global icon. He survived buffalo attacks, a crippling hip injury, and countless fights, always returning to rule. Even as age and injury left him alone, he held his ground, a solitary king respected by all. His leadership was quiet but commanding. His presence alone deterred rivals. Scarface sired many cubs, ensuring his bloodline endured. He was often seen surveying his kingdom, the wise monarch who outlasted his dynasty. His story is one of resilience, a lone warrior who ruled with dignity. Scarface became a living legend, inspiring all who witnessed his reign. Notch, born around the year 2000, was a survivor from another era, a lion whose story would become legendary in the Maasai Mara. He was a symbol of resilience, having endured the harsh realities of the wild for years. Marked by a torn ear and a face full of scars, Notch carried the evidence of countless battles. Like many aging males, he faced the looming threat of exile, a fate that often meant a slow decline. But Notch was different. He refused to fade away. Instead of wandering alone, Notch made a bold choice. He formed a powerful coalition with his 5 sons, Nangop, Ron, Grimace, White-Eye, and Caesar. Each son brought his own strength and spirit, making the group truly formidable. Together they became a super coalition, sweeping across the Mara and overwhelming any rivals that dared to challenge them. Their unity made them nearly unstoppable. Their 6-strong force conquered pride after pride, their thunderous roars echoing for miles across the savannah. The Mara had never seen such dominance from a single coalition. Notch led with wisdom and experience, while his sons brought youthful strength and energy, a perfect balance of leadership and raw power. Their arrival meant dramatic change for the prides they conquered. Cubs were lost and new bloodlines began. It was a harsh reality, but such is the way of lion society, where only the strongest survive and thrive. Notch's strategy was simple yet profound. Unity is power. By staying together, they could defend their territory and ensure their legacy. He taught his sons the art of takeover, survival, and the importance of loyalty. Under his guidance, they learned how to rule and protect what was theirs. Notch's legacy was not just about solitary heroism, but about building a dynasty, a family that would dominate the Maasai Mara for years, shaping the fate of countless lions. In the end, Notch's name became synonymous with the power of family, unity, and the enduring spirit of the wild. Scarface and Notch ruled with opposite philosophies, both effective in the Mara's harsh world. Scarface relied on individual strength, intelligence, and a calm, intimidating presence. He picked his battles, ruled with quiet confidence, and provided stability for the marsh pride. His reign allowed generations of cubs to thrive under his watchful eye. Notch, in contrast, wielded overwhelming force through his coalition. By uniting with his sons, he created an unstoppable army, conquering vast territories. His leadership was about collective might, not individual charisma. Notch's dynasty was nomadic, always seeking new territory, expanding their influence. His legacy was strategic genius, proving that in lion society family can be the greatest weapon. Two kings, two paths, the lone survivor and the master strategist. Scarface and Notch rarely met face to face. Natural barriers kept their kingdoms apart. Scarface ruled the lush Musiara Marsh. Notch's coalition roamed the eastern plains. Yet during the Great Migration, boundaries blurred and tensions rose. Roars echoed across the plains, vocal battles asserting dominance from afar. Occasionally the coalitions faced off across riverbanks, each side measuring the other. These were cold wars, not open battles. Both sides knew the cost of direct conflict. Their rivalry was a strategic standoff, each respecting the other's power. The balance they maintained shaped the Mara's lion dynamics for years. Every ruler has strengths and weaknesses. Scarface and Notch were no exception. Scarface's resilience was legendary. He survived wounds that would have ended most lions. His calm leadership and reputation kept rivals at bay, even as he aged and lost his brothers. But his reliance on individual strength became a weakness. Alone, he was vulnerable to younger coalitions. Notch's power was collective. His coalition of sons made them nearly unstoppable. Their unity allowed them to conquer and protect vast territories. Yet their strength depended on staying together. If the coalition fractured, their dominance would fade. Notch's own power in old age was tied to his son's loyalty. Both kings' strengths carried the seeds of their eventual decline. Their stories reveal the delicate balance between individual might and the power of unity. Every Lion King's reign, no matter how mighty, must eventually come to an end. Such is the way of the wild, where time and nature are the ultimate rulers. Notch's reign faded quietly into the golden grasslands, as his sons gradually took over the territory he once fiercely protected. His death went unrecorded, lost to the vastness of the Mara, but his legacy was never in doubt, etched into the very landscape he once ruled. His sons, strong and determined, continued as a formidable force, carrying forward the bloodline and the lessons he had taught them. Over time, the pride splintered into smaller groups, each forging their own path across the savannah, but always connected by the dynasty Notch had built. The influence of his reign shaped the Mara for years, leaving an indelible mark on the land and its future generations. Notch's story is a powerful reminder. A lion's true legacy is not just in his conquests, but in the family and future he leaves behind, in the cubs that play and the pride that endures. Scarface's end, in contrast, was public and deeply poignant. Old, limping, and alone, his once mighty frame now marked by the passage of time and countless battles. Eventually he was pushed out by younger, stronger rivals, a fate that awaits even the greatest of kings in the wild. On June 11, 2021, at the remarkable age of 14, a rare achievement for a wild male lion, Scarface died peacefully beneath the shade of a bush, away from the chaos of the pride, his final moments calm and undisturbed. It was a rare, dignified end for a male lion, a peaceful conclusion to a life defined by epic struggle and survival. His passing was mourned not just in the Mara, but around the world, by all who had followed his extraordinary journey. Tributes poured in from wildlife lovers, photographers, and conservationists, each honoring the lion who had become a symbol of resilience and wild beauty. The Kenya Wildlife Service paid tribute, honoring Scarface as a true icon of the Mara, a legend whose story inspired countless people. Scarface's death marked the end of an era, a chapter closed in the ever-unfolding story of the Maasai Mara's lions. It was a peaceful conclusion to a life of epic struggle, a fitting farewell to a king who had seen and survived so much. Both Notch and Scarface left the world changed, their stories woven into the fabric of the Mara, shaping the lives of lions yet to come. Their roars and their legends still echo across the savannah, carried on the wind and remembered by all who witnessed the wild. Their reigns remind us that even the greatest legends must one day fade, but their stories will live on, inspiring generations to come. Scarface and Notch became more than lions. They were global ambassadors for their species and the Mara. Their stories, captured in photos and documentaries, brought the drama of the savannah to the world. Scarface's resilience inspired empathy and awareness for lion conservation. His scarred face became a symbol of survival and the wild spirit of Africa. Notch's legacy was strategy and family, showing the power of social bonds in lion society. His dynasty offered insights for researchers and hope for the species' future. Together they taught us that lion survival depends on both individual strength and collective unity. Their parallel reigns defined an era, captivating a global audience. Scarface and Notch will be remembered as two of Africa's greatest lions, immortal in story and spirit. Their legends will roam the Golden Plains forever, inspiring generations to come. In the sun-drenched Maasai Mara, two legends emerged, Scarface and Notch. Their stories would become woven into the very fabric of this wild land, shaping the destinies of countless lions and captivating all who witnessed their reign. Scarface, marked by a battle scar over his right eye, led the formidable four musketeers, Hunter, Sikio, and Marani. Together, they were more than just a coalition. They were brothers in arms, bound by loyalty and a shared hunger for dominance. Together they ruled the Marsh Pride territory, a lush paradise with abundant prey and water. The marshlands offered shelter and sustenance, making it a coveted prize for any lion seeking power. Their unity made them a force few dared challenge. Rivals and intruders alike learned to respect the musketeers' strength and unwavering resolve. Across the Mara River, Notch reigned, a massive lion, patriarch to 5 powerful sons known as Notch's boys. His presence was unmistakable, his leadership unquestioned. Their coalition was a dynasty, controlling vast southern plains and thriving during the Great Migration. The endless herds brought opportunity, and Notch's family seized it with unmatched skill. Notch's dark mane and size made him a living legend, the founder of a bloodline that would shape the Mara for generations. His legacy was written in the roars that echoed across the plains. Scarface's musketeers held the coveted Musiara Marsh, defending it fiercely and bringing stability to the region. Their vigilance ensured peace for the prides under their protection. Notch's family dominated open grasslands, their numbers allowing them to control herds and territory alike. Their strength was in their unity and their ability to adapt to the ever-changing landscape. Both coalitions ruled jewels of the Mara, their reigns legendary among guides and wildlife enthusiasts. Visitors from around the world came hoping to catch a glimpse of these iconic lions. The musketeers' presence brought order to the wetlands, while Notch's dynasty thrived on the ever-shifting plains. Each coalition left its mark on the land and the lives of all who called it home. Their territories were more than land, they were the heart of 2 lion empires, pulsing with life, drama, and the promise of new stories yet to unfold. The stage was set for a rivalry that would define an era, as the kings and their kingdoms prepared for the ultimate test of strength and legacy. Where Scarface's and Notch's kingdoms met, the borderlands became a zone of tension and opportunity. Here, the fate of entire prides could shift in a single night, as the balance of power was always in flux. The Mara River marked a natural boundary, but it was never absolute. Its winding course divided the land, yet also connected it, drawing animals and predators alike to its life-giving waters. Here, resources from both territories converged, creating a paradise for wildlife and a battleground for lions. The abundance of prey made this region both a blessing and a curse. The river provided water and cover, attracting buffalo and other prey. Its banks became hunting grounds, where danger lurked with every rustle in the grass. Controlling these resources was vital. Access meant survival for prides and cubs. The future of each coalition depended on their ability to secure these precious lifelines. The borderlands were a stage for a Cold War. Neither coalition could afford to yield this ground. Every inch was contested, every shadow watched. Scent marks and roars became daily challenges, each side asserting dominance without direct conflict. These rituals were warnings, reminders that the land was claimed. Every patrol was a calculated risk, with lions searching for signs of rivals, fresh tracks, new scent, distant roars. Even the wind carried messages of danger or opportunity. The air was thick with unspoken threats, every movement watched. Tension simmered beneath the surface as both sides waited for a misstep. Yet, open warfare was rare. Intelligence and strategy kept the peace. The lions relied on patience, reading their rivals as much as the land itself. The borderlands were a delicate balance, a testament to the lion's cunning. Every decision could tip the scales, for better or worse. Here, survival depended on reading the land and each other. The ability to interpret subtle cues often meant the difference between life and death. This subtle conflict shaped the destinies of both coalitions, forging legends in the wild heart of the Mara. The rivalry between Scarface and Notch was fought with sound and scent, not claws. Their battles were rarely physical, but the tension was ever present, a silent standoff that shaped the very rhythm of life on the plains. A lion's roar is a declaration, "This is my land, I am here, I am strong." It's a warning and a challenge, a sound that can travel for miles, sending shivers through the grass and every creature that hears it. Scarface and his brothers roared in unison, their thunder rolling across the marsh. The ground itself seemed to vibrate with their power, as if the earth acknowledged their presence. Notch and his sons answered, their chorus shaking the plains, a counter-declaration of power. The air crackled with anticipation, as if the very wind carried their rivalry. These roaring contests, often at dawn or dusk, were unforgettable, echoing like the arguments of ancient gods. The spectacle drew the attention of every animal nearby, a daily drama that marked the passage of time. Scent marking was their silent warfare, rubbing faces, spraying, scraping, each mark a territorial claim. Every tree, bush, and patch of earth became a message board, layered with meaning only lions could decipher. Scarface's patrols would overwrite Notch's scent, and vice versa, a constant battle for olfactory dominance. Each patrol was a statement of intent, a reminder that the struggle for territory never truly ended. Fresh scent marks signaled recent presence, putting rivals on alert. The faintest trace could trigger a new round of roaring or a cautious retreat. The landscape became a living map of claims and warnings. Every path, every tree, every whisper of wind told a story of competition and survival. For these lions, controlling the scent narrative was as crucial as physical defense. It was a battle of wits and patience, where every move was calculated. The Mara River's banks were a public notice board, updated daily by the two kings. Here, the boundaries of their empires were drawn and redrawn, day after day. Their world was defined by sound and smell, each message a move in their ongoing chess match. Every roar and every scent mark was a calculated step in a high-stakes game. This psychological warfare kept the rivalry alive, and the peace intact. In the vastness of the Mara, it was these invisible battles that shaped the destinies of kings. Sometimes the two coalitions met face to face, moments charged with tension. Scarface and his brothers on one side, Notch and his sons on the other, a standoff of titans. Body language spoke volumes, heads high, muscles taut, tails twitching, low growls rumbling. They stared each other down, each side weighing the risks of battle. These encounters were silent negotiations, a test of will and strategy. A fight would be devastating for both. Even victory could mean crippling injuries. Scarface and Notch understood this. True power was knowing when not to fight. Often one group would slowly withdraw, not out of fear, but tactical wisdom. This art of avoidance preserved their strength in coalitions. Choosing peace over war allowed both kings to reign for years. Their restraint was a mark of intelligence, not weakness. In the Mara, survival often meant knowing when to walk away. Scarface's presence was legendary, his scar a badge of honor, not weakness. He led the Four Musketeers with confidence and strategic brilliance. Scarface's experience and deep knowledge of his territory made him a formidable ruler. Though fewer in number, the Musketeers' unity and skill compensated for their size. They were expert hunters, capable of taking down buffalo through teamwork and courage. Scarface's leadership brought prosperity and stability to the Marsh Pride. His fame spread worldwide. He became a symbol of the wild, drawing visitors from across the globe. Scarface carried his celebrity with regal indifference, embodying the spirit of Africa. His charisma and story made him unforgettable, a true icon of the Mara. He was more than a fighter, he was a provider and protector. The Marsh Pride thrived under his reign, a testament to his leadership. Scarface's legend endures, the ultimate survivor and emperor of the plains. His rule was earned through courage, intelligence, and an unbreakable will. Notch was the powerful patriarch, founder of a lion dynasty. His coalition of 5 sons was a masterstroke, family loyalty forged into an unstoppable force. 6 massive lions moving together intimidated rivals and secured their kingdom. Notch's own legend began with a battle-scarred ear and a dark, impressive mane. He passed on his genes and wisdom, building a bloodline that would rule for over a decade. Their numbers allowed them to control vast territory and multiple prides, splitting up to defend and expand. During the Great Migration, they dominated the herds, their strength unmatched. Notch's legacy was expansion and the spread of his bloodline. He was a kingmaker as much as a king. His dynasty's power was generational, ensuring his influence long after his reign. Notch's rule was about family, legacy, and the ultimate patriarchal success. He showed that true strength lies in creating a future for one's lineage. His sons and grandsons would carry his name and power into the next era. Why did Scarface and Notch never clash in a final battle? Both leaders understood the cost, mutually assured destruction. A war would leave both coalitions weakened, vulnerable to other challengers. Instead, they mastered cautious tactics, patrolling, testing boundaries, but knowing when to pull back. Standoffs became negotiations, a way to assert strength without bloodshed. Their internal bonds, brotherhood for Scarface, fatherhood for Notch, were too valuable to risk. Protecting family was as important as territory. The ever-changing Mara also played a role. Shifting prey migrations eased border tensions. Abundant prey in one territory or the other often kept the coalitions apart. This natural rhythm allowed the uneasy truce to hold year after year. Their wisdom lay in knowing which battles not to fight. In the end, peace was the ultimate strategy for survival. Scarface and Notch shaped the Maasai Mara, their reigns echoing through the ecosystem. As apex predators, they maintained balance, controlling herbivore populations and preserving the grasslands. Their stability allowed prides to thrive, creating a ripple effect across the savanna. Their stories captivated the world, drawing tourists and raising awareness for lion conservation. Scarface's courage and Notch's dynasty inspired empathy and action. Their fame brought vital tourism revenue, supporting the reserve's protection. Both kings fathered many cubs, passing on their genes and survival instincts. Notch's bloodline dominated for years. Scarface's spirit lived on in his descendants. Their legacy is genetic, ecological, and deeply human. They remind us that the wild is a kingdom of characters, not just species. Their story will be told for generations, ensuring they are never forgotten. As their reigns end, one question remains: who was the true king of the Mara? Was it Scarface, the charismatic emperor ruling through presence and legend? Or Notch, the patriarch, whose dynasty and numbers shaped the land for generations? Greatness depends on how you define a ruler. Scarface's fame and story made him an icon, a testament to individual power. Notch's legacy was in his dynasty, his sons and grandsons ruling long after him. Perhaps both were true kings, each mastering his own domain, each a legend in his own right. Their rivalry, fought with roars and restraint, only enhanced their myth. The Mara was big enough for both, and their stories teach us that greatness wears many faces. True kingship is measured by the legacy left behind.